I don't know. I think this movie has a chance to maybe be the only billion-dollar grosser this year, but maybe there won't be any. Wait, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I didn't know M Night has a movie coming out this year. M Night Shyamalan has been working nonstop for the blah 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 blah. Blah. Split Glass, Old. I haven't seen Old, and I haven't. He did Old, Knock at the Cabin. I didn't see either one of those. Trap. Interesting. I didn't know that he was making a movie. Um, I don't know if it's good. It'll do well, but unfortunately, it'll probably flop. Borderlands. If it's good, I think this has a potential to make a lot of money because the Borderlands franchise is pretty big. Like three, that was a huge deal when that was announced. But is this Eli Roth? Yeah, they shot this like what in 2019? Like it's been done for a while. I don't know what happened. Why it was taking so long. Uh, no, he shot it in 2021. So it has done reshoots from Tim Miller. Interesting. Maybe it was really bad and they had to. I don't know. Um, interesting cast though. Wait, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kate Blanchett, Jack Black. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Like, I mean, I think this is a little bit too late. I think this movie, like 10 years ago, would have been better around the at Borderlands 2's height of popularity. That was crazy. Like, so many people were playing that. But now, I think they're doing Borderlands 4, but its popularity is not what it once was. So, I mean, it's just another of it's continuing the onslaught of video game adaptations we're gonna get. Now, this next one, I really this one of all things on this list, this is the one I really want to be good, but I'm afraid because, again, unfortunately, Alien is owned by Disney, but it's Fede Alvarez, and he did the Evil Dead reboot in 2013, which I only saw this year or 2023, like 10 years after it came out, and it was pretty good. I liked it. He did Don't Breathe as well. Um, I don't think Ridley Scott is that involved. It's not a sequel to Alien Covenant. It's apparently its own thing, a standalone movie. I don't know why it says untitled. It's supposedly called Alien Romulus. So that okay. This is why Polygon is bad. Someone says said all Predator movies are good. No, they're definitely not. The Predator is horrendously bad. Okay, what drugs are you on, Polygon? Um, Alvarez has been selected to follow. I mean, it still stings that we didn't get the Neil Blomkamp one. That man, I feel bad for the dude. He worked for years trying to get Alien 5 made, and his concept art was awesome. I've made videos on it before. You can go find it. Um, his Alien 5 and his RoboCop Returns both sounded great, and he got screwed out of both of them, and Halo. So, and I love that dude. He just made Gran Turismo one of my favorite movies of the year. And I love District 9. So, and I like Elysium and Chappie, even though they're not as good. But, yeah, cautious optimism for this one. I don't know how well it's going to do, though, because Covenant didn't do super well, if I remember. But we'll have to see. I don't know. Craven, Craven the Hunter. Might as well call this It's Craven Time, because it's going to probably be just as bad as it's the second of, is there two or three Sony Marvel movies coming out this year? I think it's two. But the trailer came out. It looks kind of dumb. It was delayed an entire year. It was supposed to come out in October. And Aaron Taylor Johnson, I have nothing against him. He's good. He's been good in like everything. And he really showed his acting chops in Bullet Train. Like he's actually a pretty good actor. I think he could be a good Bond. And I think they should hire him ASAP for that role after seeing him in Bullet Train. Um, but yeah, that's coming out, and it's probably going to be just as bad as why am I blanking on what it's called? Morbius, which I haven't seen, but I don't expect this to be any good. Let's see. Okay, this I think could be good. Beetlejuice 2, finally. It has been talked about and rumored for decades, um, at least for the past 20 years. Like, feels like every few years it's like Beetlejuice 2 is happening. Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's happening. No, it's not. And then a few years back, they announced, oh, we actually think it is happening for real. And then I thought that was it. And then it didn't happen again. And then finally, Tim Burton's like, all right, we're doing it. So it's filmed. They had it all done except for one day, apparently, with the strikes. So after the strikes, they went back and filmed the one day. It's just dumb. So, yeah, wait, let's read this. On one hand, it's a little disheartening to see Tim Burton turning his eye for an adaptation into one of the few fully original screenplays he's ever directed by making a legacy sequel. I hate that term. It's just a sequel. I hope this is true, and his supposed emphasis on a back-to-basics approach rife with puppetry and in-camera effects. Fingers crossed that they do a lot of puppetry and in-camera effects like the first one. You don't want it to be super jarring. Like, imagine if Tim Burton tried making this like Alice in Wonderland. If you tried watching them back-to-back, you'd be like, whoa, this is not... If it was all CGI, it would look bad. So if he's going back to his roots with this one and doing more puppetry and stuff, this could be good. And I think I've heard some stuff that the script was good for it. So having a lot of the cast back, I don't think Alec Baldwin's in it. I don't think Gina Davis is in it. But Keaton's back. Winona's back. They added Jenna Ortega. Apparently Willem Dafoe's in it. So I'm hoping this is good because people have waited a long time. So please be that rare, like that sequel after many, many years that isn't bad, because it almost always is. It's very rare that you get a sequel decades later that's good. So hoping for the best for that one. I think it'll do well if it has good word of mouth. September 13th, we're past summer now. Transformers 1, that's the director of Toy Story 4. That's not good. I don't like that movie at all. Yeah, this is an animated Transformers movie. And for some idiotic reason, they're replacing Peter Cullen as Optimus with Chris Hemsworth, because apparently it's about a young Optimus. But Chris Hemsworth, like, Peter Cullen is iconic as that character. You got to use him as much as you can. The dude's old. So, really dumb idea. I don't think they should have done that, but I don't really care. I'm not a big Transformers guy. Saw 11. So, I watched the first 10 Saw movies this year for the first time. They're stupid, silly fun. Some of them are better than others, but I just want them to just say screw it and bring Jigsaw back to life, because it would be funny. Like, nobody cares about the story. Just resurrect him, because he's been dead since 3. You can't keep doing this where you introduce a new person that he was involved with in the past. It's stupid. So 10 apparently was the highest grossing one since 5, it says. And it was pretty good. I thought 10 was pretty all right. And you gotta get as much as you can out of Tobin Bell, because he's not young either. I think he's like 80 now, or 81. So it's like having Biden in your movie. Or Harrison Ford, honestly. But Tobin Bell seems more lively than both of them. So I'll probably see it just because they're so stupid and fun. But here's another one that I'm concerned about, but I also think it could be good, and that's Joker. I'm just going to call it Joker 2. I can't speak French. I think it's Folie à Deux. For one, I think they waited too long. And I also agree with the sentiment that they probably shouldn't have made a sequel to Joker, because it works perfect as a standalone movie. You can endlessly interpret the ending. You can interpret it as none of it happened and it was all in his head, but now with a sequel, you're confirming that it did happen. So I trust Todd Phillips, though. He basically had carte blanche on the first one. And so if he's still given that amount of freedom with this one, it could be good. The only thing that concerns me is they're saying it's a musical, and I'm not a fan of musicals. If it's like 4 or 5 songs throughout the whole movie, fine. But if it's like 25 songs and they like have 2 lines of dialogue and they're singing, and then 2 lines of dialogue and they're singing, then I'm going to be out. I don't want that at all. That's coming out on October 4th, so about almost exactly 5 years after the first one, which is nuts. It's nuts, man, to think that it's been that long. Time, man, it works in mysterious ways. But I love the first one. So, but again, they waited too long. Um, so if it has good word of mouth, it's going to do very well. Smile 2, it's a low budget horror movie. It's going to do well. That's how they always do. That was only in 2022? I thought that was older than that. Okay. Yeah, these are really cheap and easy to make, so they turn them around really quickly. So they make them for next to nothing, and it's probably a Blumhouse movie, so it'll be profitable. But how profitable, I don't know. Okay, so I was right. There is 3 Sony Marvel movies coming out. There's Craven, Madam Web, and Venom 3, which is... I thought Venom 2 was terrible, and Venom 1 was pretty bad, but not as bad as 2. Despite Andy Serkis directing it. Shout out, I got to meet him in 2023. But Tom Hardy, I love Tom Hardy, but I don't know why he's wasting his time on these movies. They're not good. So, please do other stuff, Tom Hardy. I didn't know Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's also a great actor. Don't waste your time on this. I don't know. Why is this thing? I know they made a lot of money, but that's November 8th. Yeah. Notice that there's only like maybe 5 movies I've talked in depth about. And I've been going a lot longer than I thought. I think I have to split this video up into parts because I've been going for almost half an hour just rambling. This is going to be bizarre. Okay, Gladiator 2 coming, what, 24 years after the first one? Yeah, because the first one was 2000. But it's about Maximus's son. Does anybody care? And like, have you seen? I mean, I don't know if you've seen Russell Crowe recently. It's not like he's going to be playing Maximus again in any flashbacks because the dude. I mean, you saw him in Thor 4, right, as Zeus. He's got like a giant beer belly now. So, I don't know. This is a stupid idea. I think Ridley Scott hasn't made a good movie really since The Martian, and before that had been a while as well. He's like 80. Dude needs to retire. Like, he's made some great movies, but he just doesn't have it anymore, I don't think, unfortunately. So, why he's making this is crazy. I didn't actually expect this to come out before Passion of the Christ 2, which is also supposed to be a thing. But it is. It's happening. So, feels like Ridley's got a movie every year now. Like, he's trying to just pump them out while he can. So, and then Denzel's in it, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's November 22nd. The holiday season is looking thin. Again, this isn't a full, like a comprehensive list. Just like with games, well, with games this year, we don't really know that many big games either. I can't really make a most anticipated video this year because we know nothing. And the reason why is because games take longer now to make than ever before. So I feel like there's like not a lot. Like last year I was able to make a pretty big list. This year not so much. But with movies, we don't know how far, like there's still so many indie movies that'll be sprinkled in between. These are just the big ones. So, and I'm sure there's going to be some gems in there somewhere. Wicked. So this is is this like an adaptation of another musical adaptation? John M. Chu is doing it. Interesting. He did Step Up 2 and G.I. Joe 2. Isn't this like an origin to Wizard of Oz? I don't know anything about it. It's probably going to flop. Another thing that's going to probably flop is the untitled Karate Kid movie. I haven't seen Cobra Kai, but I don't think anybody involved in that show is involved in this except Ralph Macchio. The writers aren't involved. So I don't understand what they're doing here. They're bringing Jackie Chan in from the reboot from 2010 somehow, and they're somehow combining it with the original Ralph Macchio one. So I'm very confused on what this is. I don't care, though, at all. Maybe if I saw Cobra Kai, I would care, but I don't. I'm trying to speed this up. Here's another of the few that I actually care about this year. The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. So this is a prequel about Helm Hammerhand, voiced by Brian Cox. And it's about the origin of like where Helm's Deep gets its name from Helm. Miranda Otto, who played Éowyn, is back to be the narration. Jackson, that's weird that Jackson's not involved. I heard a little bit about this when I met Andy Serkis and went to his panel earlier this year. He talked about directing some scenes with a broken back because I guess he broke his back while rock climbing, and well, he didn't specifically name this movie. He said he can't talk about what movie it was, and talked about the cool technology used. So I do think it's this though. He's probably doing second unit directing like he did for Lord of the Rings, but the Jackson Lord of the Rings movies are still iconic. Everyone loves them. So coming out with this around the same time frame as those came out, I think is good. This director apparently also has made some incredible Japanese movies, so it being basically an anime thing, I think it's going to be huge. I think this movie is going to do very well. And it's one of the few that I'm looking forward to this year. So I hope it's good. Please don't be bad. December 20th, we're nearing the end of the year. It's Sonic 3. Same director as the first two. I still haven't seen the first two. It's crazy how quickly they made these, because the first one came out in 2020, I think, and after the redesign and fans didn't like it, and because of that, these movies did well. People supported his, he owned up to his mistake and fixed it. He didn't belittle the fans and say they're stupid, so I think people rewarded him for that. I will probably see it just for that reason, but I gotta watch the first two. I think I rented the first two out of a Redbox, and I didn't actually watch them. So that was a waste of money, but I think they're streaming now, so I'll watch them at some point. Is that it? No, it's not. Mufasa the Lion King, a prequel to The Lion King of 2019, which made $1 billion. Interesting choice of director. It's the guy who did Moonlight, Barry Jenkins. So I don't know. I actually don't think this is going to do that well. Disney, its star has faded a lot in the past 4 years. And I don't think parents trust it as much as they used to after certain things the past few years. So I don't think it's going to... And look at Little Mermaid. That movie lost a lot of money. I think it lost like at least 300, 400 million. So depending on how big this budget is, I think this movie is going to lose money. And I don't think it's going to do well. And this is not it. I thought this was it. Nosferatu, I will see simply for Robert Eggers. I liked all of his movies so far. I haven't seen The Witch, which is crazy. That's his first one, but I saw The Lighthouse and The Northman. Liked both. Him doing Nosferatu could be amazing. So I will see it. I think it'll do okay. Untitled Jordan Peele movie, not really worth talking about because there's no title. I hate Jordan Peele's movies. I think they're really overrated and stupid. So, Havoc. This is a movie I've been waiting for a while. Like, what happened to this movie? Gareth Evans, not Edwards, Evans of The Raid and The Raid 2, which I loved. They finished filming 2 years ago. That's not good sounding. That they finished 2 years ago and that might be trouble. I hope it's good, man. I love The Raid 1 and 2, and having like a Raid style movie with Tom Hardy sounds amazing. So that's supposed to be on Netflix at some point. Hope it's good. Man, Glenn Powell is like a huge star now, isn't he? After Top Gun, and Anybody But You or whatever that's called. Richard Linklater. See, all these big directors are moving to Netflix, like David Lynch. I don't know. He hasn't done a movie in a while, I think. So, this is a new Linklater film. That's all I know. I'll probably watch it. Beverly Hills Cop, another straight to Netflix thing. Well, Axel F, which it's 4. It's Beverly Hills Cop 4. I still haven't watched those 3, so don't have much to say about it other than I'll probably watch them before this. The Old Guard 2, I can't believe they're making another one. Really? Yeah, these are like all Netflix stuff. Ultraman Rising, I know nothing about it, so I just won't say anything. And finally, how long have I been going? Let me look. Almost 40 minutes, so I got to split this video up. Oh, wait. Okay. I know what this is. Maxine. I haven't seen them, though, but I know of them. Maxine with 3 X's. Ty West, Mia Goth. It says in one of the, so it's a trilogy. In one of the swiftest and most suddenly anticipated trilogy cappers, recent memory, he finishes out his makeshift saga that began with his, yeah, in like 3 years he's made a trilogy. That's nuts. 2022 retro slasher X. I still want to watch these, and the prequel Pearl, shot concurrently. Interesting. Jumps forward from Texas to the 80s. A final girl from X. Okay, I don't know anything about this, but I'll probably watch the other ones and then watch this. So that's it. Again, yeah, even though I talked for like 40 minutes, it's still not looking that great. Like compared to previous years, it's pretty thin. For big time movies, like to have your biggest movie be like Deadpool 3 is not that great. And the summer particularly looks light. Because I compare this to like this year we had Oppenheimer, Barbie, all the Marvel stuff, even though they wasn't good. But it's I don't know, it's gonna be an interesting year. Oh, that was a lot. I think I'm losing my voice now. So anyway, leave in the comments what of these movies you're looking forward to this year. There was a few in there that I talked a while about. So I usually estimate how many times I'll go to the movies at the beginning of the year. Last year I estimated 10, and it was about that many times. This year looks like maybe 5. I don't think it's going to crack 10. Probably 5. The rest I'll just watch on streaming. So I don't know. We'll see. So and then after this, I have a list set up for my favorite games of the year. Don't have an anticipated game list though, because there's not anything known at the moment. Really, very few. So yeah, thank you for watching. That was a long one. 2 parts actually. So subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, share, and I will see you next time. Peace out.